Hello everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. And I think we're going to call this the defense dysfunction episode because you were looking at the game and you were really pretty
animated.
Yeah, about some of the things you saw in that game, in the Lions-Packers game. I mean, the Packers gave up 41 points and it wasn't pretty. So this is a play that really bothered you. And it's essentially the Lions are down deep inside Packers territory. This is the end zone. And they've got two wide receivers, Calvin Johnson on this side, and they got a tight end here, shotgun running back. Okay, so basically what I showed was they had 5 linebackers in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they were only rushing 3 and dropping 8 guys into coverage. So this is Brad Jones. He kind of peels out here. A.J. Hawk peels out here. Desmond Bishop peels out here. Okay, now show us what's dysfunctional about this whole thing, here, especially on this side.
The whole concept of this, the Packers in what we call quarters. I mean, quarters. So it's 4 guys that's very important. Corner, safety, corner. It doesn't really matter what everybody else does, because in my mind, I'm thinking, I get in this coverage so no one can throw verticals, 9 routes. And that's because you always got a guy in each quarter. Well, the problem, Tom, is Charlie Pepper is lined up incorrectly. He should be lined up more inside of number 2, because he has to worry about this tight end going vertical. So I'm thinking if they're in quarters, there's no way you can get a vertical in there. Here's another problem. You got A.J. Hawk. He's relating to what me and George Kuntz used to call number 3, which is the back. Well, the back is not really any danger. So when he opens up, you got this tight end come up in the middle. Tom, you got 5 guys on him. It seems like 100 guys on him. The back just steps up. Now, you got Calvin Johnson up here, so he's doubled with these 2 guys.
Right.
I mean, he's doubled, so he's out of it.
Burnett plays it correctly.
Yeah, he plays it fine. Now, here's that line you drew. Now, if you're playing defensive back anywhere, you never go too deep. Because if you're getting too deep, once the guy catches the ball over the goal line, it's a touchdown. So A.J. Hawk, he opens up the wrong way, and then when he does that, he comes a little bit too deep right there. Now the tight end comes up, makes a move, and comes right in here for the touchdown. And Pepper closes, but it's too late. And really, Bush is not too bad, but he stops right there. Now what happens, quarterback, in his progression, he looks everybody off this way, Tom. And when he got back, Stafford we're talking about, he made just a beautiful throw right there for a touchdown. Now what should happen, 26, draw me a 26 in there. Draw a 26 right there and get rid of Pepper right there. So now, this time when he looks this way and comes back, it's going to be an interception, or he'll come back and try to hit something underneath or throw it to a crowd or go to his one-on-one. That is too easy of a throw when you're in a quarters defense.
Well, and then another point you made, which, okay, let's say Pepper does stay here, but he's, plays this to here.
Right.
A.J. Hawk took these steps over here, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, plus Brad Jones, 5 guys covering 2 guys.
Yep.
If he, and I'm assuming in a quarters coverage, you need someone in the middle. If he steps here, then it's a harder throw for him to make.
It's a harder throw. Right? You're exactly right. So his alignment, again, 2 guys alignment, I would adjust. I would adjust A.J. Hawk, more so in the middle, draw a 50 right here.
Yeah, he was crowded
He
over
was way
here.
on top of here, but he should be right there. Now when he goes straight back, here, that's a harder throw because remember, Bush has to carry, but he's also the flat player, what we call curl to flat. He got this area right here. But another coaching point, he's too high in his back pedal. A.J. Hawk was backpedaling straight up, so he can't come forward. So a lot of these guys, you get lazy in your fundamentals, and we talked about that in 5 questions. What do you work on in the bye week? You work on staying low so you can come up and make a play. But whenever you get this deep in the end zone, those are touchdowns. That's a great throw, but the alignment, assignment, and what you have to do It kills you.
This is not a hard coverage. It's
no,
basic
it's the first coverage you put in mini camps, cover 4.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows cover 4. You go cover 4, concept, cover 2, concept. And if I told a lot of guys, hey, look, they're going to run 4 verticals like they did, what coverage would you want? Man-to-man or quarters.
Right.
And if you're a quarterback and you're making that throw, you have the confidence that no one can stop you.
You're not a big fan of this coverage, though, right?
No, and this is why.
And this was the coverage that Terrell Owens scored.
Terrell Owens, the same thing to prevent. We were in cover 4 quarters, and we had another guy, Darren Sharper. He was too deep.
Yeah.
T.O. catches it right there. A little bonus for you guys. Catches it right there, and we don't go to the playoffs.
Yeah. So.
And ironically, we were going to Atlanta. So.
That's right. So we will take a look at yet another.
I hope this shows our
play.
frustration.
So stick with us. Okay, this is another touchdown that the Lions completed, and this was to Calvin Johnson. Just to set it up, they're almost in a similar type of alignment, a little different. Desmond Bishop is up here on the line of scrimmage, but you still got Jarrett Bush here. You still got these 4 cross guys, and they're in almost the same, except they've got an extra wide receiver. And these are the routes that the other guys run, but this is the guy we're looking at. So first show the route that Calvin Johnson runs, and then show how the Packers reacted.
The Packers in what we call a cover 2.
Right.
They're in a cover 2. So now, and I'm not really a big fan of cover 2 down in the red zone, but if you got to drop 8, in which the Packers are going to eventually do, you should think everything is covered, because now AJ is in the middle, so you would think the middle reads by the 2 inside receivers should be covered. But basically, Calvin Johnson, who I have a lot of respect for Tom, when we freeze this play, he came up here, and we came up, and he just kind of went to the post, and Morgan Burnett did a great job of carrying him right on his outside hip. And
he dropped back first and then came right in.
It came in, and so he stopped. And A.J. Hawk was backpedaling so high I thought it was going to fall. He goes straight back, Tom, but he's this deep. Calvin Johnson catch the ball right there for a touchdown. We talked about the X and the O's last time, never too deep. And once he came up, I couldn't believe that Matthew Stafford would throw that. You got 1, 2 guys, and you had another guy dropping in here, that you would even make that throw knowing you got a guy standing in the middle of the field.
Right.
But he must have recognized, oh, he's too deep, I can get it there quick enough.
And here's another mistake, was Desmond Bishop was here, and right before the snap, he kind of bails out. And he's supposed to be somewhere
right
up
in there
too.
Yep.
But he kind of moves towards this guy.
That opens up another window.
Who really should just be covered by Tramon Williams, right? I mean, isn't this part of his job to take away the angle a little bit?
And he was trying to fake like you're blitzing, but at this point, come back here. Come back here, get some depth. Never get 2 yards in the end zone. A.J. Hawk should intercept this pass. And if you're Morgan Burnett, if you know you can't rely upon them, now it's going to make you get inside, and guess what, Tom? This guy runs a corner out on you.
Yeah.
So he has to kind of pressure him into it, and he was playing it fine. But to be honest with you, with the arm strength he had, he looked this way. This guy was wide open over here.
Yeah.
And that's Pepper's guy. He has to go all the way over and get to number 1. This is the number 1 receiver. But that guy, he was wide open right there.
Yeah.
Because when you look off, sometimes they drift.
Sometimes I'm wondering if they're going for interceptions all the time.
Well,
like in this case, let's say he does throw it to this guy and you're Desmond Bishop and you had drifted this way. Who cares if he catches it here, right? You come up and make the tackle. It was, what, they were at the 12-yard line?
Yeah, they were on the goal. In other words, there's no first down. But it doesn't matter. It's not a touchdown.
Right.
So that's an insignificant play. So we always learn deep to short. Play it deep to short. And they don't necessarily do that because maybe they are going for interceptions, but the concepts are all wrong. If you're going to be the middle backer, you remember Hardy Nickerson? He would come back here and he would play that fantastic, but he would stop right about here, Now you got to make that quarterback make a decision. He got to throw it over me and the inside of another DB, and maybe he's off that throw, come back and make this, which is a harder throw,
Yeah.
but that receiver was wide open.
Yeah. I don't know. It's my opinion, but I sure thought when Robert Francois was playing that position that he did a lot better job than A.J. Hawk did.
Yes.
You know,
and that may be something that they work on during the bye week. In obvious passing downs, you have to replace A.J. Hawk.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that he's going to do better, then you're putting the team at a risk because he hasn't shown it.
Right.
But the Packer coaches know better than I do. I'm just thinking, you know, right a 49 in there. Now what you have is a bigger, longer guy, bigger wingspan, and that relates better in passing downs.
Right.
And that's really more athletic.
Yeah.
And that's what you're losing by having the 50 out.
Especially if you're going to play cover two, because that's the kind of guy you have. Brian Urlacher has changed that position, and he's so long and wide, and that's what Francois is. So
and that's what helps.
I don't know if they're, you know, saving him for the playoffs. You know, maybe they thought they were.
The weapon. I don't know.
I don't know either.
The problem is athletic ability, and A.J. Hawk is limited in passing downs.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it for X's and O's. And
This is brought to you by CynicsMarket.com, Ballester owned and operated. Be on the lookout for my new cookbook, which is coming out real soon.
And we'll be back next week, and we'll look at the upcoming opponent.
And W.J. Kuhn in Oak Creek.
See you next week.